You're scrolling right now, and you hate it. You remember when this app used to show you things you actually cared about, your friends, art, ideas, a feed that made sense. Now, it is a slot machine of sponsored garbage, rage bait, unskippable ads. It is loud, it is cheap, it is aggressively ugly. You close the app in disgust. You throw the phone on the couch. 10 minutes later, your thumb twitches, and you open it again. You tell yourself there's just nothing else to do. You think you're just bored. You think your attention span is broken. You aren't. You are experiencing the psychological friction of a hostage who has fallen in love with a crumbling prison. You feel the walls closing in. You feel the air getting thinner. You watch the price of the subscription go up while the quality hits the floor. You know everything you love is getting worse, but you stay. Let's look at the mechanics of this decay. It is not an accident. It is a business model. The writer Cory Doctorow coined the precise term for this terminal disease. He calls it enshittification. It is the inescapable life cycle of modern platform capitalism. It happens in 3 distinct stages. First, a platform is good to you, the user. They bleed venture capital to give you free rides, ad-free streaming, and chronological feeds. They do this to lock you in. They build a walled garden and invite you inside. Once you're locked in, the pivot happens. The platform stops treating you like a customer and starts treating you like livestock. They abuse you to make things better for their business customers, the advertisers and the vendors. They flood your feed with promoted posts. They hide the content you actually asked for. Then comes the final stage. Once the advertisers are locked in, the platform abuses the advertisers to claw back every possible cent of profit for the shareholders. The system eats itself. The platform dies. Imagine a restaurant opens in your neighborhood. For the first year, they serve prime steak for $1. You tell all your friends. You eat there every night. You build your routine around it. Then one night, they lock the doors from the outside. They replace the steak with sawdust, and they charge you $50 a plate. And you sit there and you eat the sawdust. Why? Let's bring in the psychology. In the 1950s, Julian Rotter developed the concept of the locus of control. It measures where you believe the power resides in your life. You have surrendered to an external locus of control. When your locus of control is external, you believe things happen to you. You believe you are at the mercy of the algorithm, the tech CEO, the board of directors. You have become the passive observer in your own digital life. You sit in the waiting room of the internet complaining about the magazine selection, helplessly waiting for someone else to invent a better room. And here's the incision. Here's why your complaints are entirely useless. You think your outrage matters. You post angry reviews. You threaten to delete your account. You post on the rotting platform about how much you hate the rotting platform. You think that if you suffer loud enough, the machine will take pity on you. You're waiting for a deus ex machina, a sudden plot twist from the heavens where the tech giants realize their greed, reverse course, and give you back the golden age of the internet. No one is coming. No one is coming to save your attention span. The engineers in Silicon Valley are not going to wake up tomorrow and decide to prioritize your mental health over their quarterly earnings. If you sit in the passenger seat of a car, staring out the window while it drives off a cliff, screaming at the dashboard will not save you. The car is programmed to crash. You feel helpless because you have accepted this digital serfdom as a law of nature rather than a contract you keep renewing. As long as you act like a victim of the algorithm, you don't have to do the terrifying work of unplugging. You get to complain, and complaining is easy. Leaving is hard. So, how do we survive a digital world that is rotting by design? You have to shift your locus of control back to the internal. You have to stop being the consumer who begs for a better product. You have to realize you are the script writer, not the actor. If the script is garbage, you don't read the lines louder, you tear up the page. You stop demanding that a parasitic system treat you with respect. You pull your attention out of the machine. It feels impossible. It feels like social suicide because they engineered it to feel that way. But you manually break the loop. You cancel the streaming service that just doubled its price and added commercials. You delete the app that makes you hate your own life. You accept the boredom. You let the withdrawal hit you. You sit in the silence of your own unmonetized brain. You stop asking, what will I use instead? And you start asking, what was I doing before I was rented out to advertisers? You rebuild your tolerance for friction. You read a physical book. You buy a DVD. You text a friend directly instead of watching their story expire in 24 hours. You reclaim your territory. You aren't trapped in these digital ghost towns. You aren't a hostage. You're just standing in a cage made of invisible code, convinced that the walls are made of iron. Stop waiting for the warden to hand you the keys. The door isn't locked. You just never tried the handle.